One of the best ways to grow your small account is by scalping. And I want to share with you guys in this video a scalping strategy I used that made me $1,000 today. Okay, and here's the proof, live account. And it works extremely well. It works on stocks, options, futures. I did it on Amazon. And it uses one simple, basically one tactic that's called speed. And I'm sure you guys know what speed is, but you probably haven't thought about it in terms of trading. And so I'm going to break down basically what the strategy is, how I traded it, and a few different examples for you to trade it for yourself so you can grow your small account. All right. So let me show you the trade I took on Amazon and kind of how it relates to speed and the actual strategy. Right now, the one I took on Amazon, if I go to a 1 minute chart here, was I actually got in long right on this candle here. Okay, so right on that candle there, had my stop a little bit below here, and I got out on this peak here. So it was a little bit over a 1-to-1 trade. I wasn't going for anything too crazy. I know some people say, oh, you need a 2R or a 3R trade. No, it was about 1.5 R. So pretty solid trade, nothing too complicated. But the main point of the strategy is all about speed. Okay, and the reason why speed is so important is because not a lot of people talk about it, but speed is actually what drives price, right? If you think about speed for a second, I can show you right here. Look how fast price came down and then price came immediately back up. Okay, speed equals aggressive orders, aggressive buyers or aggressive sellers, and aggressive buyers and aggressive sellers is what moves the market, right? Because if you have passive buyers or passive sellers, those are simply just people who are putting their limit orders out, okay? And that's not going to move the market at all, right? The only way a market moves is through market orders, when you're buying on the ask or you're selling on the bid, okay? And by using this method, you can scalp pretty easily and make a decent amount of money. Like I made $1,000 today, all right? So let me kind of break it down how it works. So here's what I saw on Amazon yesterday. Now, there's a few other clues, a few other tools I looked at, and I'll kind of get into that in a later date just because it's hard to explain all of that in one video. I'll show you the main kind of concept here, right? So if we take a look at Amazon, what I noticed was the previous day, which is this day, if you look at the 1 minute chart, you can basically see speed on the chart here, right? What do we notice? We have a lot of speed down here at the bottom. What do I mean by speed? Well, you can see when price comes back down here to this kind of 169.25, 0.30 area, it doesn't spend a lot of time there, right? There's not a lot of time spent, right? You can see right at the open, we were there for a minute, we came off it. Right here, just for 1 minute, 1 minute candle, 1 wick. Here was like 2-3 minutes, we immediately pop back out. Same thing here, like 2 minutes, then we're back out, right? And that's a lot different than when we look over here, right? If we look at this high or this price level at 170.29 or 170, up here, you can see that we have 3 minutes of consolidation. Then we back off. Another 3 minutes of consolidation. 3 minutes of consolidation. Up here we have like 5-10 minutes of consolidation, right? So the difference here is that in this kind of support area, whatever you want to call it, we don't spend a lot of time there. We come in for a second and we immediately see buyers press up. We see huge buyers putting in market orders. Okay, that tells us that price is moving higher, that they're hitting aggressively at the bid, and that shows you that this general area, right, and then this area here is going to be an area where you're going to see buyers show up, okay? Because there's strong buyers, not just passive buyers like up here. There's strong buyers, right? And you can see, obviously, this was the low of the day, and price ended up moving higher, all right? So now, how did I actually end up, how did I know to get long here? We actually broke the support, right? So why would I still be wanting to get long up here? And I'm about to explain that to you, right? So again, there's a few other things I looked at for this actual trade. I don't just trade off one confluence. Speed was the main thing I was looking at. But I was looking at supply demand. I have my own, levels that I look at. But a lot of that stuff, I'll leave a free, training. I have a free training on it. I'll leave it in the first link in the description. You can check that out after. But in terms of this one, when price came back down, it doesn't matter if we break support or not. A lot of people have this kind of thesis that if we're in a support resistance area and we break support, that means I should immediately be bearish. I should immediately be a seller, and that's not the case. It's never the case. Okay, price can always reverse. Price can always do whatever it wants to do, so it doesn't matter. So I noticed that in this area, there's a lot of aggressive buyers. So even though price came back below it, even though we tapped into this demand zone down here, that made me really bullish on it. But the main thing I looked at that made me extremely bullish was this move back up, right? So what do we see happen? Price opens in the first 3 minutes, we just dump, right? 2 minutes we kind of stay here. Third minute we dump. We hit demand, right? Remember, we're still kind of in this area where we see aggressive buyers in the past. So I zoom out and I say, okay, Price immediately rips back up, right? We come back down. We spend no more than 1 minute in this area, another 2 minutes, and then after 3 minutes, we're all the way back out, right? We can look at a 5-minute chart. Just like this, you can see that like we engulf the next pattern, right? That's speed. If price engulfs the next pattern before it, that means then that's the speed, right? Price has to go all the way back. So that showed me a lot of confidence that the buyers down here were going to hold this area. Now, it didn't tell me that price was immediately going to keep going up. And I got pretty lucky that there's basically no drawdown. Like right when I got in, it kind of just went up and up and up right to my target. But that being said, what I was expecting with this is that price is not going to get back below this area. We may get one more dip, right? There still could be sellers in this area, but we do know that the buyers down here are strong, and it's going to be tough for them to give up this area. And so that kind of told me, okay, even if we do pull back a little bit, I'm going to give myself some room, give it a decent stop, get a nice like 1-1 risk reward, not do anything crazy. And there we go. Ended up working out really, really smooth, right? So the way you actually go about doing this strategy is simply by first identify areas of fast price movement, okay? So I'll just write this here, right? Identify fast price action. Okay, and remember, price action that's fast just means aggressive, right? So if I look at yesterday, you go back one day, you can use the 1-minute chart, the 5-minute chart, it doesn't matter, right? Works on all time frames. But I noticed this huge cluster of fast price action. I said, okay, buyers are aggressive here. I'm going to look at this area, kind of extend it out, and be like, okay, somewhere in this area, I'm going to wait for price action to tell me what it wants to do. What's kind of the confirmation I get? I obviously have my other tools, like some levels I was looking at. I have this demand zone. But the main thing was, price came back, and we came back above it with speed. It happened so quick. It was 3 minutes. We're in, we're out. It was fast, right? The buyers were under 169. They scooped it up like crazy, and they kept buying and buying back it up until it's up to 170. You know what I mean? I'm tripping over my words. But you guys get the point here, right? It's all about speed. So that's the first thing. And then once you see it defend that area, that's when you buy, right? So you identify it, you wait for price to come back into it and confirm, right? Confirm with speed, more speed. And once you see that, you can get in here. You could have waited for a pullback. You would have missed this trade. Typically, I will wait for a little small pullback. But again, that's the thing. We're looking at aggressive buyers. When we see aggressive buyers, we know that in this area, there's going to be aggressive buyers, and that's our sign to finally look to get in and take that quick scalp move up. Okay, we're not looking for anything crazy. I didn't catch the exact high. I didn't catch the exact low. I'm just scalping. I'm just taking quick moves. I think, literally on this trade, I got, from here to here out of this entire move. I took maybe 20% of the move, right? So we're not going for anything crazy. So let me show you another example of kind of how you could even look at this the same way, right? This happens on all day. So same thing. We'll look at the same stock, Amazon. What do we notice right here? Okay, we'll look at a 5-minute chart. 5-minute chart's even better, okay? Right at the open, we just immediately dump, right? So what do we see? We see speed. Again, right off the bat, fast. Price doesn't spend more than 5 minutes up in this area. We just dump immediately, go all the way down, right? As opposed to obviously here, you can see, well, we spent a lot of time in this area. So it's not an area that I want to be like, okay, I want to buy, I want to sell. You want to avoid those areas. But this area, we can see price rejected it fast, okay? Same thing here. As opposed to this area, we have half an hour of consolidation. When we get up here, we reject it fast. We spend maybe 5, 10, 15 minutes, we immediately dump. And I know where I'm using 5, 10, 15 minutes, and before I was talking about 1 minute and 2 minutes. Again, we're looking at different time frames here. So you always account for the time frames when you're looking at that. So I noticed, okay, now this area I will say was a little slow. We didn't have a lot of aggressive sellers, right? You can see that the buyers were a little bit stronger here, and they pushed back up. They're kind of holding their ground a little bit. But I knew generally in this area, it was fast, right? Price did not want to stay in this area. And so I kind of had this little zone area. And same thing. You may be saying, well, Jordan, this is a little resistance level right there. Oh, we broke it right here. We should be looking to get long. No. Again, get rid of that narrative that, if you have a support resistance zone, we break above it, we're automatically bullish, right? In fact, it's even more bearish if we break above it and then come back down. This is more bearish than if we just went lower. And so I noticed that. I'm like, okay, just like this, let's look at a 5-minute chart. What happens? We kind of break out above. Do we see aggressive sellers come in? Yes. How do I know those aggressive sellers? Well, the next 5-minute candle, we immediately dump. We don't we don't engulf it. We don't come all the way back below this 169.40. But we do come, we come all the way back down. It's pretty quick. I can even look at a 1-minute chart. If you zoom out a little here, just like this, You can see we came out 3 minutes, fast move lower, huge fast move. And then what happened? So you can get in on a pullback here. I ended up trading this, but you could have got in on a pullback here, stop up with the high, target all the way down here. Now, if you missed this move, you said, I don't know, buyers are stepping back in down here. I want to see it get a little bit lower. Doesn't matter. Boom, another fast movement. That's another speed, right? We see aggressive sellers in here. They just bring it right down. You can even see on the 1 minute chart. Say we come up, and then the next minute immediately go back down. Then back up, next minute immediately back down. We engulf, and we just dump all the way down here. Then you can be like, okay, I'm going to look to get short here. Just put a tight stop on it, like, above this little fair value gap or above this kind of the mini supply zone area. Take a nice 1R or 2R trade, and then boom, you're in, you're out. Just like that. Really simple setup. We come right back down to this kind of more consolidative area, and then you take your profits, and that's it. Okay? Really, really simple. Simply by looking at speed and using price. You don't need any indicators. Don't need anything else. Literally exactly how I made $1,000 on Amazon today. Really simple. I was in, I was out. It took 25 minutes, and that was my day. It's actually incredible what you can do when you understand how the market actually moves, when you understand speed and market orders, aggressiveness, things like that. Okay, so with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy. If you want to learn more about kind of how I actually trade, like the other tools I was looking at, the levels and supply demand and kind of my own like real strategy, I have a free training on it. I'm going to put the link in the description below, so you can go ahead and check that out if you guys are interested. That being said, let me know in the comments if you guys enjoy this type of video. Leave a like, subscribe. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.